Hey guys, I'm so excited to introduce to you one of my past clients, Sandy Hale, that has had massive success in her business. We met when we were both working as nurses out in Hawaii. Like me, she felt that nursing wasn't her calling and she was meant to do something more in life. And the universe was listening to her and introduced her to Rodan and Fields, which a lot of you are probably familiar with that skincare company. And within 1 year, she was able to retire from her nursing job and to be able to work full time, helping women all over the world, starting up their online Rodan and Fields businesses as well. And so my intuition told me to reach out to Sandy, and we started working together. I helped her to get a YouTube channel set up. I helped to introduce things like the law of attraction and gratitude and manifestation to use into her personal life and her business. And you get to hear all about the amazing results that she's created through our coaching together. So my name is Krista Kathleen. I'm a life coach and business mentor. I specialize in working with women who feel called to become life coaches and start online coaching businesses, in addition to women who also want to start online service-based businesses as well. So let's go ahead and dive right into our interview so you can see what truly becomes possible in your personal life, in your business, when you work with a life coach. All right, welcome, Sandy. I am so excited to interview today and to have my audience hear about your success story. You had a lot of success in your Rodan and Fields business before we started working together, and then you experienced even more success after we started working together. But you have such a unique story, and I would love for you to, briefly share your story about. Well, and just to let my audience know, Sandy and I, we met so Sandy, you're still in Hawaii right now, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
Okay, so Sandy's still living in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years when I was a military wife, and we both worked at the same hospital at the time. We both were labor and delivery nurses at Kapilani Hospital, and this is where our paths crossed, and we stayed in touch ever since. And both of us had a similar calling in life, and we felt that nursing was no longer meant to be a part of our bigger purpose, and that we were meant to help women in a different way, which is, I feel like for me that was a little bit of a struggle, and I'd love for you to talk about that too, Sandy, of retiring out of the nursing field when you're getting paid so well and it was so stable and consistent and you went to school for it. Like, tell us a little bit about that journey of leaving nursing after 15 years and starting your own successful business.
Yes, I remember there was a period of time where I thought I would be a lifer, right, as a nurse. I remember saying that to my manager, but I think that was before I really fully understood, I think, all of the politics. And I got to see that once I moved right to Vegas. I worked in 2 different hospitals up there, ended up coming back to Kapiolani and working. And I think being able to experience nursing in different hospitals in different states, it really kind of opened my eyes to see that the the politics behind it wasn't something that I wanted to be involved in anymore. As much as I loved helping people, I really felt like my soul was dying with, you know, with doing that. And so Redan and Fields was introduced to me. Honestly, I was just looking for some type of way to not be there all the time. I never imagined I could actually become a full-time business owner and be successful, right? Because that's not what we're taught. We're taught to go to school and we're taught that we have to find a career. And so I was kind of in that mentality of I'm going to have to do this until it's time to retire. But if I can do something on the side that doesn't make me have to be there 3 days a week or even 4 days a week because I was doing overtime, um, maybe I could kind of, get back a little bit of happiness and not be so sad and depressed the days that I was at the job. And um, just working my business actually just far exceeded what I expected. I ended up being able to match my nursing income. I was able to leave and not look back. And, you know, uh, becoming an entrepreneur 100%, I think, fed my soul in so many ways.
Mhm.
Part of it being able to actually watch the other people succeed that you help. I think that's the part where I enjoyed with nursing, but after your 12 hours are done, you're done, right? Like there's no more, I can't check up on them. There's, HIPAA and all of that stuff. And
Mhm.
um, I, I enjoyed being able to actually see how, whether it was skin or whether it was with the business, being able to see the dynamics of this person evolve into someone that maybe they never thought that they would be able to, or um, evolve and get to see that confidence that they have. Like I think that was a joy that I wouldn't realize I would get. Um, but just, I mean, working my business and doing it a certain way, I ended up plateauing, and I kind of, it was still good, but I feel like once you plateau, you kind of feel like, okay, how do I keep growing? How do I keep reaching more people? And that's actually where you came in. And I can recall driving. I was driving home when um, you called me, or I was listening to a message. It might have been. I remember you saying that you kept feeling prompted to reach out to me, to be able to do coaching with you. And I at the same time had been kind of praying and asking, like, okay, what do I need, right? Like, can you tell me what I need? Because like I said, I just felt like I was stuck. And so God in the universe always aligns it, right? They always bring what you need. And that's when we started talking. And um, YouTube was something that I was being prompted to do, but I was so afraid. I had a lot of fear of what the community that I didn't know would say. I think I thought there was probably more negative than positive, but I also wasn't a part of the YouTube industry. So, I think just that kind of stuff holds you back from actually getting started. And you were the one who helped me work through that. And you were like, Sandy, just do it. You helped me with the step-by-step things. I remember you showing me how to get just even the cover page started, and being really specific in the description of what I should have, so that my followers would know what to expect from me. And I never would have thought of market research, which is what you shared. You told me to look at um, other YouTubers in my industry, different um, different scenarios. So not necessarily skincare, but just other within the network marketing industry, and look at those that had high following and, just the views huge. And you were like, look at that and see what they were speaking about, and kind of start to find ideas. And then I remember throughout our coaching, there was another breakthrough moment when you told me, it was, I think what you had done was you stopped trying to come up with subjects that you thought people wanted to hear, and you started to just talk about the things that you wanted to share. And that ended up, the right people, the ones who need to hear what you need to say, end up coming to you. And that was a breakthrough moment for me, because I remember being stuck on, well, what do people want to hear? What should I say that they're actually going to tune into, instead of just putting the content out and realizing that the right ones would find the content, right? We're always trying to kind of fit into somebody else's um, peg or right box. And
Yeah.
you helped me see that the right ones would come, the right ones would find me, but I had to be my own authentic self. So that was huge for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with the YouTube channel, just to kind of update you on that, I have some videos that have over 20K views.
I saw
I've
that.
gotten
Yeah.
I've gotten business partners from it. I've gotten, and people that had never met me, but they saw my video and then they watched multiple videos, and they've contacted me after saying, like, after watching your videos, I feel like I know you. I feel like I could do business with you. And then they
Mm-hmm.
joined me. Um, I've also gotten, of course, preferred customers from that because of the product tutorials and things that I've put out. So that's been great, because YouTube is, I mean, it's on 24/7, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's such a great way to repurpose and really it's working smarter, not harder, right? You're repurposing what you put out there. You put out the information once and people can find it just over and over and over again, the ones that need it. Um, and then I want to say one of the other biggest breakthroughs
Mm-hmm.
that I had with you was you giving me permission to break unnecessary rules that I had set forth for myself. And it was during our conversations when you would question, right? You would ask me, well, why do you feel like you can't do it that way? Or why do you feel like you need to do it this way? When I actually got to stop and think, there really wasn't a reason. It was a rule I had made up, or it was a rule I had heard somebody else do. And I thought, well, if they do it that way, I have to do it that way. I can't veer off or do it, a little bit different. And you giving me that permission was huge, because it's even helped me transform other people within my team. I realized that a lot of people, we all do that. I think we set rules for ourselves. And until somebody comes along and says, I'm giving you permission to break that rule and actually do it a different way, it's kind of like this huge aha moment, like the clouds part, and you're like, why didn't I think of that? Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's helped me transform other people and really help them also to kind of break through those walls. Because, when we're making unnecessary, not just lines, but I mean, we're kind of boxing ourselves in and saying we can only do it a certain way, or we can only say it a certain way. We're the ones holding ourselves back. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's been, I think, one of the biggest takeaways that I've been able to pay it forward.
Mm, amazing. Well, first of all, thank you so much for sharing all that. There was so many just golden nuggets in what you just shared. And I want to just backtrack a little bit here, and then I'll touch on some of those bigger things that you just said. But so yeah, back in 2018, I believe it was January 2018, my intuition was telling me to reach out to you. And that is a big part of how I run my business. And it's kind of what you were talking about with these unspoken rules. A lot of times we take these trainings and people will say, okay, you need to market in your business like this, you need to sell in your business like this.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that doesn't work. For me, I like to listen to my intuition. I like to collaborate with God, the universe, my spirit guides. And that day they were telling me to reach out to you. And I had no idea why. And honestly, I was terrified to reach out to you, Sandy, because you had already had experienced so much success in your business. And I was like, what is little old me going to be able to do for Sandy? And most of the time I help new business owners. And the fact that you're already an established business owner, I guess it scared the shit out of me. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to reach out and see what happens. And I remember, yeah, you were like, oh my gosh, this is like perfect timing. I've been asking for more support. I feel like I'm stuck, like I'm plateauing. I'd love to work with you. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. And, yeah, we ended up working together. I think it was for about 6 months. One of the things that I love that you said, it was a breakthrough that you said, is you don't have to hire a life coach feeling broken or feeling like there's something wrong in your life or your business. It can be because you want to improve something. And I love that you said that, because I think a lot of people do think that, oh, like everything's going wrong in my life, so I have to work with a coach. And that wasn't the case for you. Everything was going really well in your life, right? Like the fact that you replaced your income in just over a year through Rhode Island Fields is huge. And you could retire nursing. Oh my gosh, like there are so many people that will never ever experience that kind of success that want to. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. Another thing was, I know you were really curious about using gratitude and the law of attraction and manifestation, and we did a lot
Yes.
of that work in the beginning. And so I'm
Yes,
curious, how do you still use those principles today in your life and in your business?
that's right. You introduced me to magic. That was also a game changer. You gave me the PDF. I had been using The Secret. I'm so black and white to the sense, like you tell me to do something, I'll do it that way, right? So when I was utilizing The Secret, I needed the actual secret journal because I kind of needed that step-by-step instruction of how to really put it into play. And so I had been doing that already. I felt like the magic kind of was a little different. And so it kind of just helped to refuel that fire, you know? So otherwise it was just kind of mundane, right? Like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And magic, what I loved about it was it gave me something specific for 30 days. Every day was something different to be grateful for. I remember talking to you about this. I remember telling you, like, oh my gosh, I envisioned this, and even small things like I envisioned I wouldn't hit any traffic lights and I didn't.
I remember that,
Or
yeah, or a
um,
parking spot opened up for you or something.
yes, yes, because so just a little background with me, like when I drive places that I am not familiar with, I get a lot of anxiety. I hate parallel parking. I'm not good at it. If I feel like somebody's watching me, I'm not going to parallel park. Like that's how bad it is. The envisioning of a parking spot is huge for me because I am the person, Krista, that if I drive somewhere and I don't find a place to park, I will also just drive back home. Like I'm not gonna sit and play around. I've done that before. I've done it where I've driven all the way into town, and right, Hawaii, like into town for us with traffic's like about an hour, right?
Wow, yeah.
I drive around. There isn't a parking spot that I feel comfortable with pulling into or near the place. I just turn around and I'm like, okay, not today. And then I'll just drive home. Like that's me. So yes, being able to envision and it being open or within me driving up, here's a car pulling out and I can just go right in. Like that was big. And then once you start to see those small things, it really feeds your faith with. So what you end up doing is it's you start to find that gratitude and that thankfulness in everything, right? And that was part of magic. I mean, magic had you be grateful that you had running water in your house because right, third world countries don't have that. And for the things that when you eat or just even drinking coffee, think of all of the hands that touched the coffee bean to get to where you are to be able to make that coffee with that running water within your home, right? Just
Mhm.
realizing that there are so much more blessings in everything that you have really allowed, I think, those floodgates to open. You're more aware of the blessings that come, but at the same time, you have that energy and that vibration that's up. So you're just attracting more of it. So
Mhm.
that was yes. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about
Yeah,
magic until you brought that up. But yeah, that was a big one. And that helped me as well. I ended up sharing that with a lot of
you
the
did.
girls in my
That's
team.
great.
Yes. And so in return, even for them, that also started to see a boost in their business because when you're happy, right? When you're happy, when you feel good on the inside, one, you attract it, but two, it also helps you to not get stuck when those negative people kind of come around you.
Right,
It gives you
right.
that strength to be able to say, "Mm, no, I don't need it," right? And you pivot and you turn and you just kind of let it go. So there were a lot of golden nuggets and a lot of breakthroughs that you gave me that I was able to utilize as a leader and then pass down in my mentoring of the my team members.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that that was so beneficial. And yeah, just to let everyone know what Sandy's talking about. So, a lot of you already know The Secret is a movie, and I think it's a book as well. And Rhonda Byrne she was a part of that, one of the co-creators, and she wrote her own book called The Magic. And it is, I think it's either a 21-day or 30-day gratitude practice. They give you little exercises to do every day. Someone had introduced it to me. It was mind blowing how much it transformed my life. And so then I started gifting it to all my private coaching clients to use as like foundational work for a positive mindset and abundance. And Sandy, I remember you were one of the clients that was just most excited about it, and you used it every day. Yeah, you shared it with all your team members, and it was just so fun to see you like, yeah, start to attract all this, just more abundance and success using all that. So I love that. And you started using your intuition more as well, and you started trusting your own decisions and letting go of like, yeah, things you should do or what other people were trying to tell you to do. So I just really saw you take your power back in so many ways in your personal life and your business, and you started running your business and managing your team so much differently, from using amazing tools like gratitude, manifestation, law of attraction. So I thought that was really cool to see you get so excited about that, and to really adopt those practices every day. Yeah, cool. Okay, well, let's talk about your YouTube channel. So yeah, I know that you had wanted to start a YouTube channel for a while and hadn't got started. And so that was one of the things you wanted to work on during our time together.
Mhm.
And, yeah, I kind of just helped you set up the basics, like, yeah, channel art and a description. And, we did research to see what other people in similar type of industries were doing as well. And so I
Mhm.
just want to show, people what your channel looks like really fast. So I'm going to do a share screen here. Okay, so here's Sandy's beautiful channel. So I love that you are now consistently uploading videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And look, you have these amazing thumbnails here. I just absolutely love this. This was making me so happy because none of this was here when we first started working together. And then you have this video here that went viral, the pros and cons of being a Rodan Fields consultant. So over 22,000 views, which is incredible. And then, one of the reasons, Sandy, that I wanted to interview you today is because you sent me, I think you sent this through a text message a couple months ago or within the last year. And so I just wanted to read this really fast. You said, I had been wanting to start a YouTube channel for years, but just kept putting it off. Krista helped me over the course of 6 months to get the channel set up, create a content plan, work through my visibility and perfectionist fears, and before I knew it, I made $5,000 to $8,000 through my YouTube channel. So grateful I hired Krista as my life and business coach. So we just took a look at your YouTube channel and the glowing success that you've had from it. So your YouTube channel is now starting to bring in, clients and money and opportunities for your Rodan Fields business. And I remember when we were first starting to help you do that, and you would set up your little camera in the living room and you would like practice and work on all these things to say, and then the perfectionist stuff would really get in the way, and you'd be like, Krista, I can't do it. I can't do it. So tell me a little bit more about those struggles that you had in the beginning when filming those YouTube videos.
Oh, yes. I think when you start recording yourself, you get so nitpicky over how you look, where you're looking. Oh, my mouth looks like that when I talk. Do I really sound like that? Like it was all these small little things. Um, Even to the point of when I'm speaking, if you trip up on yourself, and then I would say to myself, I have to stop it and I have to re-record. I have to speak perfectly, even though when I'm talking to somebody in person, it's not always perfect, right? We make mistakes when we're speaking. And I used to record myself, probably sometimes 20 times.
Oh, wow.
And then I would get to a point where I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I can't say this again. I can't speak about it anymore. It is what it is. I'm just gonna put this last one out there, and here it is. And I remember the first one I did, right? So the first one I did was my pros and cons. And I remember being sick to my stomach when I actually posted it. And I was just waiting. I was waiting for horrible comments, or, just something that somebody was going to call me out, that I wasn't an expert, or why did I say this, or maybe I said something wrong. There were so many things, right, that run through your mind, because you think that you can't make mistakes. And I think after the first couple hours, when I didn't get any horrible comments, I don't think I got any comments within the first couple hours, to be honest. I realized nobody's paying attention. So why am I so focused, like thinking that, oh my gosh, Sandy posted, everybody's gonna be looking at it, right? So it took me a little bit. I kind of got over that. I think it probably took me about a year, though, to stop re-recording and re-recording and re-recording, and then finding like a really good one. I now I record it once, I edit, and I put it out there. I'm like, it is what it is. This is who I am. If I make, little slip ups here or there, I realize now, though, that it makes me real. It makes me human. And the feedback that I have gotten from people who do watch it is that they can tell that I'm a real person. It's not so curated. And I think that that's what makes me more believable, and probably easier to relate to, I guess, or have them feel comfortable with, okay, she's a real person, right? Sometimes she slips up, sometimes she has to say something twice. Sometimes she does look away. She's not constantly staring at the camera, because that's, even when I'm talking with somebody, I'm not constantly staring at them. If I do have to think about something, I look away because I'm thinking, right? So it's being able to put your mannerisms and you, and then putting it out there, and being okay with every once in a while having somebody who will have something to say. There will always be someone who has something to say, and that's regardless, right? Regardless of, it's a YouTube channel, maybe something you cook, somebody's going to be like, I don't like that, right? Or a picture that you put up, somebody's not going to like some part of that picture, right? So it's just know that at the end of the day, do they matter? Are they a part of my circle? Are they helping me in any way fulfill the purpose that I have? And the answer is always no. So it's gotten a lot easier to kind of push it away and not even respond. I would respond in the beginning. I did. I would take a moment though. I never responded out of anger. I always try to take a step back and respond politically correct, I guess you should say, because it's out there, right? If I'm responding, my comment's out there. So I'm not going to be negative or mean. I would respond in a way that that would still get my point across, but I would not stoop to their level.
Yeah.
And I'm now at a point where I will just delete the comment. It doesn't need to be there. I'm not gonna waste my time reading it and then having the moment of feeling defensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm so grateful that you're so transparent about this journey with YouTube, because it's not an overnight thing by any means, right? And like you said, it was really challenging in the beginning. Of you would re-record and re-record and re-record because you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't say this right, or I said messed up or something like this. And I remember that when I was working with my first life coach, and she wanted me to start doing Facebook Lives as a form of marketing for my coaching business. And I was absolutely terrified that I had to, hear myself speak and look at myself. And I couldn't do it. I would just cry, and I was like, there's something wrong with me. I'm never going to be successful in this business. And it was like one of my greatest challenges, getting on video. But I just made myself do it. And then, I would say after about a year of regular, consistent practice, it was easier and I got through it. And now it's one of my greatest ways of attracting clients into my business. But I think it's just good for people to realize the journey and the behind the scenes of what it takes to have a successful YouTube channel. And it's not an overnight success story, but now look where it's gotten you into your business. And I'm so grateful that you let yourself move through those challenges. And now, it's just attracting all these people out there who are meant to come work with you on your team and buy your products from you. And it's a beautiful success story.
It has a lot to do with, Krista, you helping me just develop who I already was. But, there's a lot of times where I think it's in us. It's always in us. We need someone to help bring it out. We need someone to give us permission to bring it out. We need someone to actually show us sometimes, that step by step, and be okay with not being perfect while it's coming out, right? We forget. I think when we are good at something. So example, I mean, you and I both, as much as it hurt our souls, we were good nurses, right? So you look at, okay, well, I achieved this. And so stepping into something new, becoming an entrepreneur, it's sort of frustrating, I think, in the beginning when you're looking for the same confidence, the same results, the same knowing that, well, I was good at that. Why am I not just as good in this area? Forgetting that, though, it took us all these years through school. We were a new nurse back then. We did have to have on-the-job training. And even once we were comfortable as nurses, there were still patients that had certain diagnoses that we were like, whoa, I've never seen that before. I've never experienced that before. And then having to learn from that. So what you do is definitely great. And I think that it's something that everybody should experience, whether it is they feel stuck, whether they feel broken, or whether they just want to find that extra, okay, how can I do this and reach another level?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. So I want people to still be able to follow you, Sandy. So obviously they can subscribe to your YouTube channel. I'll include those links below. How else would you like people to continue following you on your journey?
I am on Instagram, so you can definitely post that up there. And I am also on Facebook.
Perfect. All right. Well, I will share that, especially with anyone who is looking to improve their skincare and their confidence, and your products are absolutely amazing. Or even if they want to be on your team or have a business opportunity. And yeah, I appreciate you doing this interview with me today.
Thank you so much, Krista. Thank you for calling me. And I do apologize. I feel like my day and my home, which is normally quiet, has been super just
It's all good. See, this is what we do. We, even when it's crazy and chaotic, we still show up, we do the work, and
yeah.
we just put it out there. This is a shining example of we have to let our inner perfectionists go, and we trust that the right people will see this message when they need it the most.
Yes, absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day in Hawaii. I wish it was out there with you, and cheers to all your success, Sandy.
Thank you, Krista. Same to you.
You're welcome. All right. Bye.
Bye.